Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 27 of Persona 5 Royal. And in this episode, we are going to start the Museum of Vainglory. And the reason why they now decide to do this proper is because of the fact that they had to make sure that there were evidence. Now we have to actually explore it properly. Sort of. And by sort of, I mean there is going to come a dead end. Remember that door that Morgana found back in part 25. That's going to come into play, but not in this part. This part, however, we're actually going to start exploring the museum. Also, new to Persona 5 Royal, as soon as we come within inches of the palace, we're going to be sent to the Velvet Room. But new here is in fact going to be traits. Now, for those of you who don't know what traits are actually buffs, or in some cases debuffs, that make certain personas excel, or in turn will screw everybody over. And technically having a weather trait is basically the biggest debuff you could ever possibly have. Period. End of story. Most traits will more than likely give you an extra ability, or for the most part will give you some sort of boost to your attacks, defense, or even give you a chance to screw over the enemy in certain weather conditions. But those traits will definitely come in handy. Because one said trait, I do believe, will belong to Izanagi no Okami, which is a DLC, which will halve the cost of Almighty Attacks. And he has by far the most broken Almighty Attack in the game, which is Country Maker. So yeah, with Almighty Attacks reduced down to minimum, that's something that needs to be taken into account. And speaking of things that need to be taken into account, as you just saw, Madarame has, starting off, 40% in security. So yeah, the security is going to be tighter than before. So you might want to be careful. Or at least that's what I would say if this was Persona 5 Vanilla. But no, this is Royal. And needless to say... Oh, right. My controller is starting to act up, so I had to switch controllers somewhere along this point. Because I was, in fact, going through this, and... Oh, right. There we go. Well, my controller was acting fine right now, but it was acting up when I first got onto the roof. So I had to switch controllers probably in the midst of this, around the 9-minute mark, so that's just a word of warning. I know, I may get a thumbs down for that, but still. Anyway, we now have infrared lasers. And get used to that, folks, because that's going to be a new thing that's going to be carried over to multiple dungeons. And I can't believe they didn't see me. Wow! I could have been caught right then and there. So, these are our new enemies. Mokoi. And Mokoi is weak to fire. But it didn't matter because we completely trounced him. And thanks to ambushing enemies, we practically are dropping Madarame's security meter down. Now, here's the thing. In Persona 5 Vanilla, that's the best way to go about this dungeon. No, I just went backwards. Holy shit. That was dumb. But I guess this will be a good time to talk about the changes in this dungeon. Seeing as how you're no longer able to be kicked out of the dungeon after a certain amount of security being raised and you'll be surrounded by enemies, this dungeon in particular is the best dungeon to do so. All you have to do is simply, in Royal, herp the derp, run right into the infrared sensors and raise it up to 99. You won't be able to be kicked out because of the fact of how Royal is. And you'll be grinding, and grinding well. And it's a thing that you should be able to grind up to 100,000 yen. I mean, if you can't get it now, you can get it definitely in Mementos. But, by the way, in case you're wondering where that 8 million came from, I think about 500 of that came from this dungeon alone. The remaining 700 million, well actually it was like 9,199 before the end of the game, but at least 1 million came from this dungeon. Oh, it's wind that they're weak to. Never mind, I thought it was fire, it's wind. My bad. Ignore what I said. But whatever the case, the remaining 999, actually no, it was 1 million out of that, and I think we can only get up to 9,999,199 maximum. Like the rest came from Mementos, like 1 million came from here. And that's because I went there and utilized the fact that I was not able to be kicked out of the dungeon. Oh, and as you can wholeheartedly tell, Hua Po was actually weak to guns. And that was Pravati, if I'm not mistaken. And Pravati is weak to fire. Yes. Oh, right. This was not there before. And now, new to Royal, you have to use the hook in order to get out of it. You just walk straight through in Persona 5 Vanilla. So, yeah. Well, actually, no, there was a hole that you had to crawl through. And, uh-oh. Yeah, I saw myself, I saw my controller was starting to act up. And it was around that time that it started blinking off and on. So I had to turn it on in order for it to continue. And yeah, folks, I know I'm acing the enemies way too fast. But folks, here's the thing you gotta understand. They have the ability to carry weapons over in New Game Plus. You use those damn weapons. This isn't Persona 4 or 3. Once you get New Game Plus, you can just wreck their shit. That's all there is to it. And soon they'll introduce fusion alarms. And once they do that, ho ho, that's when things are going to get real interesting. And again, the controller started to act up. Oh, yeah, that was when I switched controllers, in case you're wondering what that stop was. So, on that note, let us continue. Or at least hopefully continue. Oh, right. My controller's dead. Give me a second. Alright. Now that we got my controller working again, well, I had to get a different one, unfortunately. So we slide on to here. And this was the point where we were at before we retreated. Now we have the rest of the dungeon to do. Okay, a good majority of it before we actually get to, well, that point with the door. Yeah, this dungeon's pretty long. And it's maze-like. But it's not as bad as many people make it out to be. It's actually pretty cool. And I also like the theme music to it as well. A good thing we ran into this, because we definitely need to come here, you know, just in case I screw up. Always make sure you come to the safe rooms, especially when there is now will seeds here, and before you actually get to the infiltration route, you have to deal with the will seeds and you inadvertently pass them up. chances are they are going to be on the floor where you were at. And this is Shiza. So here's the thing about Shiza. Shiza is weak to nuclear, I do believe. Oh, it's gonna start begging. Damn it. You know, this is the part where this is the part where I should have asked. No, I should have just killed it right then and there. Oh, wait, no, it's weak to dark. Never mind. Oh, I fucked this up. So, we got an odd morsel for our troubles. But, yeah, we're going to end up putting Shiza back into my stock persona, along with a good number of them. Probably not this part, but I do believe once we finish the first half of the infiltration, which will probably be at the end of part 28. And the reason for that, oh yeah, this guy, Shikioji. The only thing that hurts it is magic, and it barely has any weaknesses. However, thanks to being inflicted with shock, and thanks to me having a persona with Ma Frey, we got this. Well, needless to say, technical definitely is its weakness. And eventually I'll have to fuse into that too. Well, completing the compendium will get you a lot of stuff. Like, for instance, discounts, and if I'm not mistaken, completing the compendium has one last thing. Will I complete the compendium? I don't know. I think I might be around 78 or 80%. It all depends. I have enough money to do it. I just gotta remember to complete the compendium. That's all there is to it. And I fucked up. Yep, I fucked up royally. Well, not really. There was a treasure chest down there anyway. But I had to come back the other way to get that other treasure chest. And it's best that you try to get all the treasure chests now beforehand. Oh, and for the record, Ann's trait was Raging Temper, to where her physical attacks will do more damage. So, on that note, we're gonna have to go back the way we came. And I'm not gonna do that. Or at least show you, so. Because it's going to literally be backtracking the whole entirety of this time. So I'll be right back, and I'll come back to the part where I was on the roof of that area and jumped down from. So I'll be back. However, before we actually go any further, let's open this door right here. Want to know how you get in? Simple. Push this button here. It's open. It was locked on the other side anyway. So now we go back to that area that we were last at. Alright. Now, in order for us to get that treasure chest, just walk along this area right here, jump down, and get the treasure chest. And that's all that was in there? Okay, I guess. And the reason why it's 5%, I accidentally ran into the laser lines. Oh, right. And in case you're wondering how you get over here, real simple. Climb up, climb over, come on. Or I guess jump down, I suppose. Oh, that's how I got the 5% in case you're wondering. So, on that note, now we go to the next area. Slide underneath, jump over, and there you go. So that takes care of one missile chest. And this area cannot be accessed just yet. We'll worry about that later, but for now, we have something more important to deal with, like that vase.
Hey, wait a second. You're just gonna ignore that golden sheen? Look at that luster. I know it might be tough to take with us, but don't you think it'd sell for tons?
Come on, we didn't come here to... Wait, hold on, you're stepping on something.
Isn't this bad? Oh no, I tripped the security.
You were the one making us be careful, too. So, what do you want to do? Run out of here?
No, passing through all of these lasers will draw far too many enemies to our location. Oh, hold on! Joker's not trapped! Sorry, Joker, but we're going to need you to search for a way to turn off these infrared lasers. This is a museum, so there has to be some switch to let the workers avoid these lasers. Find it.
Nice job, dumbass! What have you learned? And that would be Morgana, by the way. He activated the security, and yeah, it's about to get a little bit worse. Because you see, up until you free An, Ryuji, and Morgana, you don't have any party members in your team. So, what I'm trying to do is wait for that guy to show up. There we go. And ambush. I was trying to wait for a perfect spot to ambush, and for some reason it wouldn't stick. So now that I got it, and by the way, Shiza is weak to curse. There. That would explain everything, but don't worry about all-out attacks, because you ain't getting any. Not until you get An and Ryuji back. And thankfully, with Morgana pretty much indisposable. Thankfully, with Morgana at level 2, I think, I'm able, and also the fact that I completed Morgana's Confidant rank, I'm able to still steal stuff from enemies. So, Soul Drop is a good thing. Oh, by the way, you cannot progress until you actually meet up with your teammates. As a matter of fact, as soon as you try to go forward, I need to meet up with An. So, let's go meet up with Panther. Come on, jump down, fool. Thank you. And that would be past me. That's the fool, because, yeah.
Thank you.
Sometimes he does things that are stupid. Oh, and yeah, you can run into those wires. It's not going to be beneficial. I don't want you to, but you can run into them, and it's not beneficial towards you. So, here's the thing. In order to free Ryuji, the real switch is behind that painting. And Royal made it so freaking obvious. Oh, and so did your, Oh, that was easy. I thought I was going to get caught, because normally every time I tried to do that one, for some reason, I couldn't really trigger the ambush, like talking about it. Oh, that worked. That worked just fine. Disaster Fiends definitely breaks this game.
It's a step forward.
And you want to know what else breaks this game? The fact that I have won Champions Cup. Yeah. It's a good thing. Oh, yeah. Do not touch this button here. You see, that button will actually raise security. So leave it alone. And that also throws you off from the direction that they went there and put the footsteps. Because the footsteps was leading to that wall. This is where the button is. And that will free Ryuji. Now we gotta go a little bit more convoluted in order to free Morgana. In fact...
Sorry.
We'll be able to turn off the rest of the sensors in the control room. Thing of the matter is, we're gonna have to jump up here. Pretty sure it's around here somewhere. Oh, it's the other way around. Or was it here? No, it's the other way around. That's right. I remember now. No, it's here, it's here. Trying to get a little bit I tried to memorize this, even though I've beaten this game at least 3 times. Once in a regular version and twice in Royal. Actually, no, I beat it more than 3 times. I beat it like...
What's that?
I've beaten Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal 2 times each. So I should know this by now. So,
No.
instead of asking for the password, we'll have to open the door and eavesdrop on these guys. They will inadvertently slip the password. And by the way, do not get caught. It'll raise the security level. But, for the most part, at least the door is open, so that way we can access that room. And, oh my god, it's literally Hello Elite backwards. Wow! Holy shit, these guys are terrible. Wow! Yeah, folks, in case you're wondering, 07734 is Elite for hello. Well, if you reverse it back, it'll be 43770. It would literally be hello spelled backwards. Never try to use numbers for a password, because Elite is basically replacing letters with numbers. And while it would work for certain combinations, it makes most of the combinations all too easy. And on that note, let's talk to Morgana.
Sorry.
Who foolishly told us not to do that, and he did it anyway. So, there's nothing happening with that cutscene. It's not a talking cutscene like the other one was. It was in the original, though.
For real?
And this is, by the way, a treasure demon. Get used to seeing these, because this is what's going to make Personas like what I have right now. That would explain why Apsara has all sorts of magic spells, because I went there and fused using that treasure demon. There's at least 5 types of treasure demons. One of those is the Royal Jewel, and they have like the Queen's Necklace, Royal Crown, or Calcum's the best one.
Yes.
But yeah, those treasure demons actually count towards your compendium, so finding them and capturing them is definitely a good thing. Even better if you fuse those things during fusion alarms.
Man, that was easy.
You will see how powerful your persona become, and more importantly, you will see how ridiculously overpowered your weapons will become when you actually use those treasure demons for, fusions, whether it be emergency or not. But whatever the case, folks, we're going to continue through the Museum of Vainglory in Part 28. This is RPMan 985. Peace out, take care, and have a good one.